Hello there, and welcome to Andre's Artist Profile. Now, this is kind of irrelevant to the situation, but this is actually my third attempt to get this video right. First time, the lighting didn't work. Second time, the audio went all haywire, and hopefully this time it'll work. So let me get back to square one here. Today I'm doing an artist profile for an artist who was a member of a group who died 7-8 years ago, and her name was June Pointer. Today would have been her 60th birthday had she been alive. Now, the Pointer Sisters signed up with the ABC imprint Blue Thumb in 1973, and they had a number of hits on that label with songs like Alan Toussaint's Yes We Can, the Willie Dixon song Wang Dang Doodle, and were the first female soul R&B group to have a hit on the Grand Ole Opry with their country western song Fairy Tale in 1974. And in 1975 they recorded this album that you see here, and this is the only one of their Blue Thumb albums I have, and I feel lucky to find this. It was reissued on the Hippo Select imprint about 7 or 8 years ago, and it's since gone out of print like everything on Hippo commonly does. And it's a very unique thing because if you see the side of it where the record comes out, there's the back of it. Let me see if I can get it out. It slips out the side. And there's the Blue Thumb label in print on the album. Anyway, this album has a hit on it called My Love, Bet You Got a Chick on the Side, which is a very, very wah-wah guitar, bass-styled funk number that the Pointer Sisters did a lot with Alan Toussaint, and they did a tribute to Duke Ellington on this album called Ain't Got Nothing But the Blues, and Stevie Wonder plays here on a song called Wanting Things. Actually, no. On Sleeping Alone, he played piano on that. Anyway, sorry about that little gaffe. This album also concluded a collaboration with Herbie Hancock's Headhunters called Cheney Do. Another great funk number. I love this album. This is currently the only Pointer Sisters I have on vinyl, and I intend to keep it. Now, as far as CDs are concerned, in 1978, after the failure of their last Blue Thumb album, Having a Party, in 1977, they went over to Planet Records and released a whole new series of albums produced by major pop producer of the day, Richard Perry, starting with this album in 1978 called Energy. Energy reduced the Pointer Sisters to a trio as their sister Bonnie left to form a solo career on Motown, and they had a huge hit with the Bruce Springsteen song Fire. This is a very rock-oriented record, kind of like a retooling of in the late 70s of the Ike and Tina Turner soul rock combo. They did Lay It on the Line. They did a song on here called Come and Get Your Love that are very rocky. Happiness, the Alan Toussaint song, is really the only soul-oriented song on this album. Even Everybody is a Star, the Sly Stone classic, is done up in much more of a country-ish kind of attitude. They repeated the same formula on this album with another Bruce Springsteen cover. I believe he did it. She's Got the Fever. This didn't do so well for them. 1979's Priority. Wounded Bird reissued these two albums, courtesy of Sony Music, and there's a bonus cut on here with Michael McDonald's Nothing But a Heartache, which I believe was recorded with the Doobie Brothers. This album, reissued first by Wounded Bird on CD, went out of print fast, then BBR picked it up. Their first major hit album of the 80s, Special Things. They had a song on here called Could I Be Dreaming that was really a fantastic up-tempo, funky R&B pop song. Kind of a little like the Jacksons' Shake Your Body Down to the Ground in terms of the hook, but I still love it. And He's So Shy, a kind of a new wave inflected synth pop classic, which is one of their big hits. And the song I love on here is actually called Evil, a great funk rock combination. Actually more effective than what you would hear on Energy or Priority even. They were still kind of doing the rock thing a little bit. Excellent liner notes in here. If you can get this reissue, more than worth getting. Their next album, this is also from the Wounded Bird label, is called Black and White. They had a huge hit on here with the country pop song Slow Hand. I think Conway Twitty had a hit with that too. Should I Do It? Kind of a girl group kind of song. And my favorite, What a Surprise, which is more indicative of this album. This is a much funkier album from 1981 on Wounded Bird. Highly recommended, whatever format you can get it on CD. This is one of my favorite Pointer Sisters albums. Ruth Pointer is my favorite singer in the group, actually. June and Ruth, because they're the deeper voice singers. Ruth reminds me of a Tina Turner, again, Mavis Staples kind of singer. And she did a song on here called Heartbeat, which is an excellent pop soul number. But the bass line, the bubbling bass line on All of You, and the song If You Want to Get Back Your Lady, a great, deep, kind of almost boogie funk synth groove. I love If You Want to Get Back Your Lady. And So Excited was on this album, but it's an edited version compared to the hit that we know from this album, Breakout. The Pointer Sisters indeed broke out on this album, folks. This was their Thriller, their Purple Rain, their Born in the USA, their Like a Virgin, their megastar album from 1983. And of all the megastars, they were the most unique. I mean, I can go down the list. Jump for My Love, the hit version of So Excited with a longer drum intro, of course. Neutron Dance, Automatic. The hits kept coming and coming from this album. I think they had a song on here called I Need You that was pretty successful. Telegraph Your Love, Baby Come and Get It. Even the album cuts on here are killer. This is the original reissue. BBR later reissued this as a double disc set. And a couple years later, they released this album, Contact, in 1985. The hit on this album was called Dare Me. And my favorite song on here, favorite songs actually, are the Ruth Pointer, again, sang message song, Hey You, which actually has a slight Caribbean flavor to it, and the title song, which is a very Prince-influenced kind of song, if you ask me. The next album is called Hot Together. Really an underrated record. A lot of people don't give this the recognition that it really deserves. It's a very up-tempo, mid-80s funk album. There's a song on here called Gold Mine, which actually became a pretty good hit. But anyhow, the next album, and their last on the RCA label, they started recording for RCA straight after, I guess, Planet dissolved in 1984 with Contact. But all their albums, Hot Together, and this one were recorded on RCA. And they had a song on here called He Turned Me Out. And this is a very heavy funk album, and now with some ballads mixed in, and that's why it's called Serious Slammin'. Well, they went to Motown and recorded an album called Right Rhythm, which I don't have. And later on, they recorded another album, I think for Atlantic or something, called Only Sisters Can Do That. And they never really recorded again. I think they did some Broadway stuff. But this is the first Pointer Sister album I had, called The Very Best Of. The reason I keep it is because it has all their Blue Thumb hits, and an early single called Don't Try to Take the Fifth on Me. They recorded in 1972, which is actually very good. And of course it has all their Planet era hits on it. But that's what I have for the Pointer Sisters. And I wanted to wish a very happy birthday to Anita, Ruth, and Bonnie. And I'm hoping that the family of June Pointer today have some wonderful memories of their mother and their aunt's fabulous career over the years. So happy birthday to June Pointer, and I'll see you all next time.